Hi guys, today is August the 26th. I'm approximately 10 weeks in with my new dentures. Things are continuing to go really well. But I want to talk about something in particular today that might be a bit of a touchy subject for some people, but I believe in being honest, and in this area I feel no different. I want to express my opinion on this, and you can take it or leave it, and that is decision making and personal responsibility. And the way I feel about making huge decisions in your life is you take a decision, you do the research on it, you weigh the pros and the cons. You want to talk with people about it, you want to research, you want to read, you want to ask opinions, and then ultimately you make the decision. Once you've made the decision, it is yours to own forever. You cannot go back on some decisions in life. And one of those decisions is getting dentures. You cannot go back. You absolutely cannot go back. Once you've made that decision, once you've had your teeth extracted, you can't go back and change that. So I think it's really important to know all sides of an issue. And again, we're talking about dentures at the moment. You want to look at every aspect. You know, are your teeth worth saving? Do you have a dramatic amount of bone loss and your teeth are not worth saving? Are they broke off to the gum line? Are they somewhat bad, you know, and maybe you need crowns or veneers? You have to take into consideration money, and money is a huge factor. There's so many ways that you have to go about making this decision, but ultimately the decision is yours. Nobody can force you as an adult. Nobody can force you to do something against your will. So when you go to make the decision to have dentures, you own that decision. It is yours for life. And to go back and blame people for the decision that you made is uncalled for and unnecessary. You're never going to hear me say in any of my videos, if people that know me in my life are never going to hear me say, you should do this or you should not do that when it comes to making a large decision, a big decision. I can give you my opinion if you ask. I can give you my opinion. I can help you weigh out the pros and the cons of a decision, but I cannot make a decision for you, and you'll never hear me tell somebody you should do this or you should not do that. There are basically two exceptions to that case, and one is with my children. Yes, I probably will tell my children what they should and should not do, but now that they are adults, I allow them to make their own decisions and cannot tell them you should or should not do something. I would highly recommend, yes, you should go to college. But again, these are my children, and that is my role as a parent, is to help them make their decisions. And yes, sometimes I am going to tell them what to do, just because they are my children and they're learning. The other exception would be in my professional life as a hairstylist. If somebody is sitting in my chair and wanting to make a decision, especially if it's a big decision like a chemical or a huge change in the length of their hair, yes, I am going to give you my opinion. I am going to say, you know what, I think that's a great idea, let's do it. Or, you know what, I really don't think that's a good idea. How about we look at doing it this way? You know, if somebody has a particular face shape or body type and they're asking for a hairstyle that would not be complimentary to them, yes, I am going to give my opinion. But that's my professional opinion as well, and I feel that I am capable of giving my professional opinion. I cannot give anybody a professional opinion on whether or not they should have all their teeth taken out. That is not my choice. That is not my decision. That is not anybody's business to tell anyone else what they should or should not do. That's why we have professionals, we have dentists, we have denturists. We have people that can help guide you in making that decision. But again, once you've made that decision, even if it's a completely informed decision, once you've made that decision, you own that decision for life. And yes, you can go back and blame everybody and everything when something doesn't go right, or you can take personal responsibility and say, you know what? It didn't work out. I'm not happy. But it is my choice. It was my choice. It is my decision. And it is something I'm going to have to live with. If you're having difficulty in adjusting to your dentures, then you need to see a professional to find out how to fix those problems. Whining and crying and complaining about those problems and blaming other people for the decision you made to have your teeth extracted is unacceptable behavior. You made the decision, and I don't know how many times to say it strong enough. This is probably my biggest pet peeve in life, is the fact that people do not take personal responsibility for their actions, then go and blame everyone and everything and all the circumstances in their life for why things didn't work out. You know what? Once you become an adult and you make your own decisions, they're yours. You own them. And you can't blame other people when things don't go right. All right, so say things didn't go right. Say your dentures don't fit. Say you're having terrible sore spots. Say, you hate the shape of your teeth. You are an adult. You need to speak up. You need to tell your dentist, you know what, this isn't working out for me. What can we do to fix this? If you aren't getting an answer, or if you're not getting the answer you want, a couple of things. You may not be seeing the right dentist. You may need another opinion. You may also just need to accept the fact that things aren't going to be perfect. These are not your natural teeth. They are not going to act like your natural teeth. This is a decision you cannot change, you cannot go back on. So you can either learn to adjust and to live with them and to come to accept them for what they are, or you can spend the rest of your life being miserable and unhappy. And in my life, I choose not to be miserable, and I choose not to be unhappy, because life is far too short. And it wasn't something I was going to bring up, but I think about the recent shootings in New York City and in Colorado. Those people were doing things to enjoy their life, and somebody cut that short, and people died. You don't know when your last day on earth is going to be. Do you really want to spend the rest of your life being miserable and being unhappy? Or do you want to be happy? Do you want joy in life? That is your decision. You are an adult. That is your decision. You can choose to be happy, or you can choose to be miserable. But do not blame other people for your misery and your unhappiness in life. Again, going back to telling people what to do and telling people how to live their lives and telling people how to make decisions. I had a friend approximately 11 years ago who had a gastric bypass, and she was really thrilled with her results, and it was quite impressive. Personally speaking, her results were quite impressive. At that time, I was super morbidly obese, and I weighed well over 400 pounds. I wanted what she had, and she encouraged me to have a gastric bypass. And I eventually did. Going on 10 years ago, I had a gastric bypass. Everything worked out beautifully. Had everything not worked out beautifully, yeah, I could have sat there in judgment of her and blamed her for the decision I made. But again, it was my decision. Now, she had another friend at that time, who she encouraged to have a gastric bypass just because it worked so well for her. And he died in recovery after surgery. And she carried around a tremendous amount of guilt because she encouraged him to do something which ended up taking his life. And that is a guilt she has to live with for the rest of her life. This is one of the reasons I don't tell people what to do and how to live their life and how to make their decisions. I do not want to be responsible for when things go wrong, for somebody to come back and say, you told me to do this. Nobody will ever hear me say, you told me to get a gastric bypass. You told me how great it was for you and how successful it was for you, and it didn't work out that way for me, and I'm miserable. I can't eat, and I throw up all the time, and I'm anemic, and I have this myriad of problems. I'm not going to be responsible for that. I will tell you how it was for me. I will explain my situation, and I will answer your questions, but I will never tell you, you need to get a gastric bypass, or you need to have all your teeth pulled out and have dentures. Those are life-changing decisions that only you can make. So I think it's so very, very important for people to understand that they need to be responsible for their own decisions and to not blame others. You can spend your life being miserable and blaming your parents for a rotten upbringing, and that is why you are so unhappy today. But you know, the way I feel is once you become an adult, you are responsible for your own actions. Therefore, yes, that was terrible. The way you were raised may have been absolutely horrible, but as an adult, you have the ability to make changes in your life and to adjust and to accept what happened to you and to allow you to become a better person because of it. And you know, those things that happened in your life that are bad, that were rough, that were tough, those were hard decisions, they resulted in bad things happening. You can use those things to grow upon. You can use those experiences to help others. And this is why I do these videos, is I want to be able to give back for the things that I have learned in my life. I will share my experiences with you, but I will not tell you how to do things and how to live your own life. And I guess that's what I want to say for now. I'm sure there are going to be people that disagree with what I say, but you're welcome to disagree. But I really believe, for the most part, we really need to take responsibility for ourselves and for the choices that we make. So you guys have a great rest of the weekend. We'll talk to you soon.